All right, everyone. My name is Daine McDonald. I'm the founder and CEO of Clean Health. We're an online fitness education provider based out of Australia. We've educated over 50,000 PTs around the world over the last decade, and we've also facilitated over 250,000 PT sessions. So we know what it's like to live in your shoes as a personal trainer. And today, what I want to talk to you guys about is how to build your brand in the fitness industry. And it really is such a competitive area of the fitness sector these days with everyone on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and the like. So I want to go through in today's free training some key core fundamental processes that you can do and put into your business to start building your brand and generating more leads organically so that you can scale your fitness business. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, make sure you click the like button below, subscribe, send through any feedback or comments, and enjoy the training. So lesson three, brand building fundamentals. So, today we've spoken about, how you can set yourself up for success and get more stuff done in your day. We've also spoken about how to establish yourself as a subject matter expert, right? So that you can really start building your business. The third part I want to talk to you guys about today is brand building. And this is important because, like, I think, when you can help your customers at scale, your business will grow. So obviously, becoming a subject matter expert and applying the stuff that we spoke about then will give you a foundation, right? It's going to give you a foundation to build a brand. Like, let's just say if you're a trainer that 1 out of every 10 clients that comes to you, you only get a result with, compared to the trainer that 5 out of every 10 clients that comes to them, they get the result. Which one do you think is going to build a better brand, a better reputation, or have a bigger base to build from? It's probably going to be the person that's getting results with 5 out of 10 of their clients. So using that principle, there's 4 other principles you can follow to create a competitive advantage in this. And obviously the first one is this: it's get results. Clean Health was built off the back end of these. You can see these are all different client transformations that we got. Some of these are over 12 weeks, some of these are over 24 weeks, but the principle remains the same. So all fitness businesses in some way or another are built on transformations. So whether it's a physical one like this or a mental one, ultimately, like, people are coming to you as a fitness professional to transform some part of their life, whether it's physical or mental. Now, obviously, if a client comes in and you are able to do that with them over a 12 or 24 or 12-month period, are they more or less likely to stay with you, right? They're going to be more likely to stay with you because they've seen the benefit and the life-changing impact that you've made. Like, when people get into shape and you've educated them and they understand like what is actually involved and they're more educated as a client, they're more likely to stay with you. And they're definitely more likely to refer clients to you. So, like, even with that, like, we just used to have a simple thing where, any client that referred another client to us, they would get a week's free training if that client signed up for a program with us. So if Mary referred Joe and Joe came on board and signed up with us, Mary would get a week off training. Now, even if she was doing 4 sessions a week or 5 sessions a week, they would all be for free, right? And so obviously, we would have some clients that, would literally, 1 out of every 4 weeks, they would be getting for free because they were referring clients to us every month. And obviously, when you're doing that, like, your cost per acquisition, I mean, sure, yes, you could put that into advertising with paid spend or whatnot, but getting it organically within that and then giving it back to a client that's going to stay longer with you anyway, like, is definitely more recommended. So the DM results continuum. So this is what I look at, like, with results. It's pretty simple. It's investment in yourself equals an increased skill set. An increased skill set is going to equal to an increased level of results, and that's going to equal an increased business growth opportunity. So for you guys out there that are more visual learners, so again, results are where it's at. Focus on it. Like, you guys are obviously already studying with Clean Health. I mean, looking at our courses like our performance nutrition coach certification, our performance PT coach certification, our fat loss fundamentals course. They're all going to give you some great frameworks to be able to kind of do this stuff here. Principle 2, be professional. So the trap of social media, like, this is a big one. And again, like I'll preface, there are certain like profiles out there that are going to be more controversial and at times like maybe less kind of commercially professional, and that's fine if that's part of your brand. But in general, like remember, everything that you do or say on social media can be used against you in a court of law or a court of public opinion later on in life, because again, it's all there. And ultimately, first impressions count. So it's like, how many times have you gone to someone's profile, you jump on, and like they're, to be honest, acting like a twit. Like that's first impression. You're probably not going to follow them, even if they're good at what they do. They just rub you the wrong way, right? So like being professional doesn't necessarily mean that you need to sit there and be all like stiff and proper and all that type of stuff. That's not what I'm saying. But just be consistent in all areas of your business. So, whether it is like I could have done this presentation with you guys today without the slide deck, without any of the branding on it, and just spoken. But I took the time to put it into a presentation to go through it because it's more professional. And I know that in this format, you're going to retain more information. Like conversely, with a client, like we used to have a rule in our gyms, no phones on the gym floor. So like the trainers would have an iPad or their laptop, for their client client programs, and basically that would be all they could have on the gym floor. Like don't eat food on the gym floor, like all basic stuff. And likewise with your business, like if you're a gym owner, like what does your reception look like when you come in? Are staff just kind of lounging around, hanging out? Is it intimidating to someone when they walk in? Like look at every aspect of your business. And like that last point ties into this, like optimizing client experience. So this is an important one, and remember this, write it down even. People come for the results, but they stay for the experience. So just because like these people here, sure, like, this, I was trying to bring a curtain. So like this guy here, he came and got that. She, came and got that. Like, so sure, they came for the result, but they ultimately stayed because of the connection that they built with the trainer, the company, the brand, the location. So let's just say you're working out of a commercial gym, like a Pure Fitness, Equinox, a Fitness First, a Virgin Active, whatever, wherever you are in the world, a commercial gym, Gold's Gym. Now, the clients are going to be looking at two things. One, they're going to be looking at the surroundings of the premise, and you don't have as much control on that, but you do to a certain extent, because ultimately you can choose where you want to go and work to, right? Most of the time. There's that. But obviously, what you do have control of is how you engage with the customer. Like, are you always late to every session? Do you contact your clients outside of their session? Right? Do you have like a client guide that you've made up to give them when they sign up with you, so that they've got some takeaway knowledge that they can apply and do in like a cookbook or something like that? Like these are all things. Like, do you do feedback? Like we used to do using things like SurveyMonkey, which are like cheap little software things that you can use, where you basically can send out blind surveys to your customers, and they can provide feedback on you, your business, and what you're doing. And, without them actually, having their name attached to it, which can be quite confronting for people at times too. So people come for the results, but they stay for the experience, right? So when you optimize client experience, you're going to optimize retention. When you optimize retention, you're going to optimize lifetime value per customer. So that, that customer that initially signed up for $1,000 for a 12-week program, if they're with you 3 years later, that's a $12,000 client, right? Because they've spent $1,000 every quarter, right? So that's super important. And then the fourth one here is content is king. So like in every area of your business, in particular content output, you need to be specific and strategic with it, okay? And you need to give more than you get. And so what I mean by that is, what I mean by that is like, right now, you guys are getting free training and stuff like that, and there's no strings attached. So like a big part of your content strategy just needs to be out there educating your clients. So obviously, in our case, our customers are PTs. In your case, your customers are general consumers, right? So I'll give you some examples of that. But the first thing you need to look at is like, what are the mediums of choice? So there's multiple different social platforms or things that you can do to promote what you're doing. I recommend blowing up no more than two at one time. So what I mean by that is like you should really just focus in on two. And your primary choice will depend on a few things. So the first one is your target niche. The second one is your preferred communication medium. Third one is finances, and then the fourth one is the stage of your business cycle. So if we were to look at that, this figure here, you've got in the middle there, you've got your lead gen sources, right? And then obviously around that, we've got all of the different avenues that clients can come into us through to generate traffic. So, or to find out, what we're about. So the first one is a website. So for a lot of you guys, you might not have that. That's fine. Second one is Facebook on the left there. Now, again, Facebook, if you look at the demographic of that, so if you're training Gen Pop clients that are between the age of 30 to 50, right, we'll just use that as an example. Facebook would probably be one of the ones that you use. And then actually on the other side, LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is generally used with more corporate professionals that are, in that age demographic. If you are training people that are between 18 to 25 years old, you're probably going to be looking more at Instagram, Steppen, which is a new social media platform actually that I'll talk about in a second, and TikTok, right? Because they are more of a younger social crowd. YouTube's somewhere in between. Google, that's just people going onto Google and searching your name. So, for example, TikTok and YouTube actually basically are what are known as SEO aggregators. So basically, if you have a high-ranking profile on TikTok or YouTube and you've got all the keywords attached to it, etc., you are going to naturally rank on Google higher, right? So you might be able to rank on Google with a high TikTok and YouTube account, even if you don't have a website, just based off how the algorithm works. So look, there's multiple different channels there. Like Facebook, Jenny, the best form of content you put out there is like, questions, images, videos of, anywhere between 45 seconds to 3 minutes. Instagram Reels do really well these days, short, punchy. Steppen and TikTok. So Steppen is kind of like, it's almost like a fit talk. So it's actually a newish Australian social media platform that it already has, I think, over 300,000 users in about the last 6 months. And they are basically the TikTok of fitness. So what you're going to see over the next few years as this platform grows is that a lot of the influencers that have been using TikTok in the fitness space are going to migrate across to Steppen. And there's already people on Steppen with hundreds of thousands of followers, lots of views, etc., that are using it as content creators to really grow their brand awareness. So, which I'll get into. YouTube, I mean, obviously YouTube is great as more of like medium to long form content. So anywhere between 2 minutes to 45 minutes in terms of video content. Google, obviously, relating back to, Google search. LinkedIn, again, if you're working with certain demographics, it can be a really powerful tool to attract business. And then obviously our podcasts, you might have a podcast that people tune into and it drives traffic that way. So again, Steppen actually we have a partnership with, or we've curated a partnership with them. So basically how it works is you as a creator on Steppen or as a trainer, you can basically create an account. It's free. So you can go in there off this meeting right now and do that. Although we will actually send you a link after this as well where you can get access to it. But basically you will be able to go on there, create an account. You can basically create workouts. They get shared on the platform. People from your local community and globally can actually access those workouts so they can kind of see what you're about. You might do a workout for fat loss, for hypertrophy. So the people that are engaged on the platform, they're actually just regular people that are wanting to train, right? And, they might not feel comfortable talking to a trainer in their local gym. So they're going into the gym and they're using this platform to basically search for workouts that they feel are going to be suitable for them. So, it's definitely the next big thing. And the great thing for you guys as content creators is that if you're Clean Health certified, you're actually going to be able to get on Steppen like they do on Instagram with the verification tick. You're actually going to be able to get verified as a Clean Health coach, which is going to push you up in the algorithm higher on this platform. So it's a massive deal. Like one of the owners of this company it owns Afterpay, which was just acquired by Jack Dorsey from Twitter and Square. So there's a lot, like this is going to be a big thing. So I definitely, we're going to release more information on the partnership that we've got with these guys in the coming weeks, but it's definitely something to get into and be an early adopter now, because this thing is going to blow up. All right. And all content that you create, like it really needs to be created with the core result in mind. So like, what is the core result of the customer that you're trying to attract? What are they wanting to achieve? And I like to use the Russell Brunson approach from ClickFunnels. So it's like hook, story, offer, right? So like the hook, it could be like the call to action, and that should relate back to kind of like communicating to the demographic. So like it could be, are you, are you tired of working in a corporate office from 7 to 7 and not being able to fit enough time to work on your fat loss, whatever it might be. So it needs to relate to the audience. It also needs to have something in it that is going to relate to the pain or the problem that they currently have in their life, right? So you've got like hook, story, and then offer. And the story component to it is obviously how you can help them. So it's like, here's the trigger to stop them so that they look into you. Here's the story that resonates to them about basically how you can help them. And then obviously, ultimately, you want to sell them. Here's the offer. So how you basically take that approach and roll that out across your business is in this format. And it's kind of what I relate to as like my content output funnel. So you've got cold, warm, and hot. Cold is obviously at the top here, free information, which, if we look here. So cold is free information with no strings attached that's related to the core result. So let's just use what, as a case study, we'll use what we're going through right now. So right now, you guys are watching or part of a free live training on business. Okay, you're being given methods and tools that you can apply into your business to grow it. Right. So, and there's been no strings attached. You haven't had to pay for it. All you've had to do is attach time to it. So stuff like this, it could be a free live training. It could be a short little 1-minute video, like I mentioned before, on a Steppen platform going through workout. It could be you talking about nutrition for 30 seconds. It's literally free content with no strings attached. Right. And that should be about 70% of the content that you put out should be cold. Right. It sounds like a lot, but like the reality, especially when you're starting out, no one's going to buy from you because you haven't built trust with them. Like the only way to build trust is to basically show that you know what you're talking about firstly, and that comes from a place of confidence, which comes from skill stacking with information related to your niche, and becoming better at your craft and a subject matter expert. And then once you've done that, 70% of the time you go into the warm content. So the warm content is relating back to like client success stories. You might mention the service there. It could be something as simple as like, hey, today I've got my client Jamie with me. Jamie, give us a quick, what are the top 2 things that you've gotten from training with me? What are the 2 key things you've achieved, right? Or it could be before and after photo. Like those before and after photos that I showed you guys before, honestly, like we built our brand doing that. You look at a lot of the top coaches in the world right now, like what stops people in their tracks on social? It's their flicking and then, wow, look at that before and look at that after. So, but in saying that, it's not the only way you need to do things. You can obviously get quotes, right? Quotes can be a good way of doing that. You can also get actually real videos. So real videos can be a good way of doing that too. And then obviously the hot. So obviously, literally 90% of the time we're either giving free information or we're showing how our knowledge has helped people get results. And then the final 10% is, oh, by the way, buy my stuff. So that's where you're actively selling the core result. So like if we were to apply that over the course of a week, right? So we've got, Monday through Sunday here. What I've done is, I've given a standard like template that you could use Monday through Sunday, and then categorized it in terms of cold, warm, hot. We've looked at the medium, so we've got Instagram, YouTube, and Steppen. We've got the type, so we've got an image quote, could be a video, image, workout video, reels, workout video, etc. And then the topic, right? So, take this framework here. You might keep it as it is. Like, you can do that, like if you're comfortable with that, or amend this, but use this, literally print it out, stick it on your desk, or like have it on your phone, or however you want to do it, and then just start doing it. Like if you look at even like with our student community, like all of you guys have come in off the student community. You've seen myself and the team being much more active on the student community the last 6 weeks, and we've actually doubled the community size, right? And it's just been through being consistent. So, like, consistent habits will lead to consistent and more predictable results, right? So it might take some time to gain traction, but like, just start doing it. Like, if you guys are already part of the clean health community, like, I can tell you right now, you are better than like you're a better coach and getting better access to high quality information and education than 50% of the other trainers out there right now. So like, don't doubt yourself and your knowledge. And like, even if you haven't invested into any of our courses yet, like if you've downloaded our free stuff, our top 20 diet tips, our fat loss course, our top 20 strength commandments, like this is all high quality education information, like from leaders in the world that have literally been doing this for 10, 15, 20 years with hundreds of thousands of people. So it works. And you can't say that about our competitors out there. So I think just start, right? And so, conclusion. So, like in today's fitness industry, no brand equals no business. And honestly, like it's essential to the next level of success for your business, and the KISS principle. So keep it simple, stupid. Like that's why I've tried to, as a framework. Obviously, next month when I do a live training with you guys, we're going to expand on some of the stuff that we've gone through today and start to go more intermediate than advanced. And my goal is, between now and the end of the year, is to kind of build upon these fundamental processes and steps each time we do this training, so that when you come to the end of the year, you feel more comfortable around your marketing, your sales, maybe if you want to set up your own gym or take your own business online, or how to hire people, how to performance manage your team, different technology systems or stacks to scale your business, whatever that might be. How to copyright, copywriting and the way that you put your stuff out on social is massively important too. Like there are layers to it. But for today, it's all about kind of, working on the fundamentals. It's kind of like, learning how to squat, bench, and deadlift in relation to business or the business of fitness. And then from there, we can start going for new PBs in the coming months. Okay. So this would normally be the part where I'd say, like, what are the top 3 things that you've learned today? So maybe stop, pause, write that down on your piece of paper or whatever you've got in front of you right now.